Friday, the 22nd of October. I am Bosin Omafaye. This is your frontier opening bell. The five main markets on the continent we covered on daily basis are here for you. Nigerian markets surged 1.1% on Thursday, this third trading day of the week after the Muslim holiday on Tuesday, on the back of jump in the prices of MTN and Airtel, two largest telecommunication companies in Nigeria, as well as Boa Cement, the country's second largest cement maker. Then you look at the BRVM up by 31 basis points. The EGX, the Egyptian market, is closed. That's Wednesday's closing figure of 56 basis points down south. The Nairobi Bourse eked out nearly 60 basis points and 1.25%, a big deep dive for the Johannesburg Stock Exchange. The GSE fell yesterday on the back of declines, mainly in the resources index, the financials, and the industrials index. The market was largely mixed. That was in correlation with the rest of the emerging market. The currency, the rand, also fell against the dollar at about 14.56 yesterday evening. Okay, let's take care on the East African market with the stories making the headlines. Moody's has cut Ethiopia's rating for the second time since May. It's all connected with the onslaught going on, the offensive going on in Tigray, parts of the country in which the authorities in Ethiopia are pursuing very aggressively. And a major investor is offering about 2.2 billion shillings to Kenya's farmers who are part of Mumias Sugar. Mumias is one of the big sugar producing companies in Kenya. Then you've got Moderna, which is one of the companies producing the COVID-19 vaccine, says it's looking to set up factory in Africa, but yet to decide whether that should be in South Africa, in Senegal, or in Rwanda, east of the continent. Yesterday, Mauritius Central Bank decided to leave the country's repo rate unchanged at 1.85%, says its inflation outlook is 3.8% for the current year. Italy, the Italians love the Kenyan or Ugandan coffee, so you got the Italian espresso lovers lift Uganda's coffee exports by 30%, to the 30-year high. The whole idea is that coffee from Uganda is a premium brand and is used for making espresso, which is largely consumed in Italy. Look at the West African market, where Nigeria's NDIC, that's the Deposit Insurance Corporation, is looking to review the basis for the insured premium that banks pay, especially when there's a liquidation of any banks. Nigeria has about 50 banks that had been closed down over the last few decades, but only 10 had only been fully paid. The person has paid liquidation dividend. Now, the head of the NDIC, Bello Hassan, is worried and wants to now move the premium arrangement into a risk-based framework rather than a flat amount that is currently in place. Then the Central Bank of Nigeria is putting $500 million on the table through this Bankers Committee, Agri, Small and Medium Enterprises Initiative to support graduates and undergraduates in polytechnics and universities that want to go into entrepreneurship in infotech, in agriculture, in science and technology as well. That's the new horizon, and there will be part of this as grants to universities and polytechnics that do very well in promoting entrepreneurial and vocational studies for students in Nigeria. Ghana's inflation is at 13.1% for the month of September. PPI, that's Producer Price Index, up by 8.8% for the month of September. And good news, according to Standard Chartered, saying that Ghana has enough foreign reserves to meet its service foreign debt obligations, and that's coming from Standard. Then you've got yesterday the release of the IMF Regional Economic Outlook for Sub-Saharan Africa, saying this low speed of vaccination will be a drag on the continent's economic growth moving forward. The title of the report, One Planet, Two Worlds, Three Stories, speaks to the divergence within the continent and with the continent and the rest of the world. That report was released by Abebe Selassie, who is the director in charge of African departments at the IMF. Let's move on to Southern Africa. Again, the story around the vaccination is still out there. The economy is now at level 1, and everyone is looking at how South Africa will move forward. But there's a whole lot of issue around inflation and again how the country will move forward with the plan to replace one of the nuclear plants. 56-year-old nuclear plant reactor will come at a cost of 12 billion rand. The cabinet of President Ramaphosa has approved it, but when will it be done and how it will be funded? And the problem is continuing to emerge for Zambia, in particular around the country's total foreign and local debt. Now, the total figure on the table is about 27 billion US dollars. The initial figure was around $9 billion. That moved to $12 billion, then to $15 billion. Now we're looking at $27 billion, both local and foreign debt, and that is about 115% of the country's GDP. The new administration of President Ichilema is unearthing these figures after the exit of President Edgar Lungu, who was defeated at the polls just about 3 months ago. In the Kingdom of Eswatini, in Southern Africa, protests are still on, so the government has asked all the telcos, including MTN, to shut down, to suspend Facebook and other messenger apps in the country. And big deal between Stanlib and JP Morgan Asset Management in the United States. Stanlib in South Africa will now be a strategic offshore partner in the new deal that was signed that will help JP Morgan Asset Management get its products marketed within the Southern African market on the back of Stanlib very big presence in Africa. South Africa has Africa's most advanced financial system. Then you've got FSCA. The Supreme Court in South Africa has ruled against the government agency FSCA for shutting down JP Markets sometime in 2020, but on the back that some customers are complaining about the services of the company and moving the JP Markets into insolvency. That those actions of FSCA is now to be rewound according to news and the ruling by the Supreme Court. On a final note, this Friday is the North African market. Egyptians are making babies fast and furious, according to the latest report. About 500,000 is the increase in population just in 100 days. On the vaccine side, Egypt is doing well. We spoke about Rwanda just about a few days ago. 21 million Egyptians has gotten 32 million doses of the anti-COVID-19 vaccine. And big news for the markets, for the Egyptian market, because there's a plan for an IPO, initial public offering of between 5 and 6 state-owned enterprises or companies belonging to the government between the 2021-2022 period. The process is getting started. The administration of President Al-Sisi is looking to sell off more of the companies, state-owned companies, onto the stock market, get private investors in, and get governments out of those businesses. And not some good news for Tunisia, with Moody's cutting the country's credit rating to C, and doubt whether Tunisia is a sovereign. And that's coming just a few days after a new government was formed in Tunis. In the Red Sea region, tourism sector is booming, or no, rebounding. Let me recast that, because occupancy rate at 80%, coming all the way from the pandemic 2020 level. And that figure is rising. The Red Sea region accounts for the chunk of North Africa's tourism, hospitality, leisure, whatever, everything that makes travel and leisure possible for Africans and anyone around the world. And that's it for today on Frontier Open Bell. I am Boston Nama. Thanks for watching. I'll see you next time. Have a great weekend, everyone.